I grew up with Catholicism, and so I was always around it, but I never saw myself as being a priest until several years into college. And I was doing more and volunteering with the life of the church. Then the idea of vocation started coming a little bit later after that, where I thought to myself, well, you know, I could give my life to a ministry in the church. I was reading about the lives of the saints, and I thought to myself, you know, no one lives that way in this modern world. And then I read about the life of Mother Teresa of Calcutta, and I thought to myself, well, there's certainly someone who is living the same life that you might find in Francis of Assisi or Dominic Guzman or any of the great saints that we've had in the life of our church. That made me think about the idea of vocation as well. And so the more I read about her community, the more I read about other communities that were connected to her. And I ran across one of the communities in my readings. It was called the Brothers of the Word, and they did a lot of ministry with drug rehabilitation. So that's where I looked at the idea of joining them, which I was quite gung-ho about. And being mindful that when we're taking on these various different elements, that they all do have a great deal of symbolism that goes to them, from the baptismal garment that we have here in the alb. The stole that we take on is the stole of the authority of our Lord Jesus Christ. And again, the prayers that we would have should be a reminder of that. I think any priest who's vesting should be mindful of that. Cincture, it's a functional element to the vesting that we do, but it's also a reminder of being ready, of readiness. You know, you gird yourself there. Chasuble is one of the more ancient garments of the church as well. It's means little house, little tent, and that's there. And so I'll line that up and put that on. So now you're ready. Your house is in order to go say the Holy Mass. And so I joined the community when I was 20. I just turned 21 in 1987. And so I went back, joined them in the spring of 1987, and stayed with them to the fall of 1988. And at that time, I met Mother Teresa. I worked with her a little bit. I actually drove her around on several different occasions, and came back from that experience a little bit more wizened. I did what was called a novitiate in that experience. And so that first phase opened the door for me to thoughts about priesthood. And I realized, you know, the sense of what God is calling me to do is the most important factor. Yes, I was attracted to the great saintly life of Mother Teresa of Calcutta, but even there is what does God want me to do? At that point in time, I went from Miami over to Italy. That's where I interacted with Mother Teresa. So I came back to Michigan. In the fall of '89, I entered Sacred Heart Major Seminary. And there, of course, I took much more of the traditional path of seminary life, measuring my vocation, measuring how it fit with who I was, and yet does it harmonize with this call of being a priest to our Lord Jesus Christ. Every year that I had of my 8-year experience with Sacred Heart Major Seminary from '89 to '97, I felt that. It was ever stronger and ever greater conviction to be a priest of our Lord Jesus. And so that's what put me to priesthood and ordination. And that's how I ended up being a part of this archdiocese, have had numerous different assignments, and here I am now.